Hello everybody, my name is Craig Bennett, and today we are going to get into another stock market video. In this particular video, we are going to get into how to minimize your losses. This is not a part of the course. This is actually some clarification for a video that's going to be coming out in the future, May 16th, 2017 at noon on Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and VidMe. And basically, that video's title is Type of Orders. And basically, within that video, I talk about trailing stop losses, limits, market orders, stuff like that. I talk about all the different type of main orders that you can do with most firms, being with stock market and ETFs. Well, the thing is a lot of people, when they take a look at the stock market, they think, oh, I'm going to lose a lot of money or I'm going to have a lot of problems. And you can actually limit your losses and your gain losses. So what is a gain loss? It's basically if the stock market goes up, then then it just sharply declines. You can actually have it where it sells. So you're still at a positive. You're still more than what you started with. But you're not as much as you would have. So instead of getting like, I don't know, $10, you got $8, something like that. You're still at a gain, but it's not the full amount. So that's what gain loss is. Then you have pure losses, where it just go down and it just won't quit going down. So with that one in mind, this is fairly important to note. Whenever you buy a given stock or ETF or something like that, you need to take a look at how much you're okay with losing. That's fairly important. So with this, it's highly recommended that you take a look at about 1% of your portfolio as being a loss. So if the loss will equivalent to more than 1% of your portfolio, or all of your trades will equivalent to whatever the loss set that you have. So say, for example, you got 100 trades. If all of those losses will equivalent to 1% of your portfolio, or if you just have one trade or whatever it may be, if that will equivalent to 1% of your portfolio, then that's bad. So expect to put your, if you want to do it right, your loss calculator to 1% of the overall portfolio. At least do that whenever you're making this as your primary income source, like myself. While I got other things like freelance and whatever it may be, this is quite a bit of money for myself. So as far as myself, I got multiple trades going on, and I've said, Should Breeze said $5 is going to be the max I'm okay with losing. So what ended up happening is I said when we bought at 121.55 per share, the trail stop needs to be at $5 gap. A trail stop loss needs to be at a $5 gap. And what that basically did is it set it at, it just basically minus that 121.55 by $5 and set the trail loss to 116.55. All right. So you might notice, okay, now the trail is going up to 117.78. That's obviously higher than what I set the loss at. So how does a trail work? This is where that comes into play. Is at 121.55, if that price increases, and I think it increased to 122.78. And basically that would actually made it down to the 117.78. So basically what would end up happening is sometime on Friday it went up to 122.78, and that's what brought this up. Now because it went below that $5 gap, this stopped going up obviously, And basically what this is meant to do is if it does go below this number, then go ahead and sell it. And what this is meant to do is, let's say, for example, this stock goes magically to $800 per share. Just throw some arbitrary, but some number that would not happen. Say if it goes $800 per share, like right now. Well, this trail will go to $795 per share. So if the stock then goes down to $795, then it will sell it right there. And note that that's a lot of people who's coming into the market may not know this, but basically like right here where it says 117.78 per share, there's a chance that it will actually go below this. See, what happens is if it hits 117.78 cents per share or below that, it will automatically sell it. But there's also things that's called ask and bid volumes. So I'm going to be using this as an example because I had to liquidate this today. But basically, we're looking at a penny stock, and I'll get into later videos on why not trade penny stocks. So basically, we got into a bid and an ask. So what is a ask? And you might notice it on a few other places. What is a ask? An ask is saying that if you want to buy this thing right now, then you're going to have to pay for this particular stock, the YN, the 121 or 120.47 cents per share. Whereas this penny stock, you have to pay a 0.002 cents per share. And if you want to, if you own it and you want to sell it right now, then what you need to do is you need to sell it at 0.0015 cents per share. And same thing with this, you can only sell it at 120.45 cents per share. So, and that's selling it right now, not in some future dates, because this will obviously go up. The bid is always smaller than the ask, so that's fairly important to note. But as far as the volume goes, this is fairly important to note. This is why I like Scott Trade. The charts on it is this is fairly important when you deal with penny shares. See, the thing is all right. So we go with $100, say $100 per share, right? So $100 per share, and you want to grab 100 shares. That's $10,000. The fact is that's traded very quickly, and the fact is for large caps or even medium caps, that's not going to be a problem. For small caps, that will be a problem. So say for example right here, you have you want to buy whatever amount at 0.002 cents per share. You can only buy up to 100,240 and 200 shares at that amount. That's the most you can buy. That's the most that seller's worth. That seller is willing to sell. That might be all they're able to sell, or just whatever they're willing to sell. But that's all what's on the table right now. If you want to buy 124 and 200 shares, then it'll be that price. However, if you want to buy 200,000 shares, then you're going to buy this, and this number is going to go up. So it might be, instead of now you're paying a 0.002, now you're paying 0.002 for that, and then for the remaining, probably 0.0025 or 0.003 or something like that. It's fairly important to note this. Whereas something like this, okay, now you got the stock. All right. Now the thing is like anything else, you have to have the buyer in order to sell something. If you don't have a buyer, then you can't sell. It's just the same thing as a seller, but you probably will find a seller. So with this, all right, the highest buyer that's available will buy it at 0.0015 cents, and they're only going to buy 10,000 shares. So let's say, for example, you got 1 million shares that you want to sell, right? And this is what screws a lot of people up in the penny market. You want to sell, like, I don't know, 1 million shares because you can afford it. It's the penny market. These are below a penny in some cases, as you see here. Obviously, not all penny shares are actually pennies. So they can go into dollars. But more than not, when people think of the penny shares, they're thinking of something around this. So basically, you own 1 million shares, right? All right. Now, this buyer is willing to buy it at 15 cents, 0.15 of a cent, right? So they're only willing to buy 10,000 shares. This number is just going to keep decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. So, okay, you sold your 10,000 shares. You still got a whole crap ton left and you want to liquidate it. Well, now it's at 12. Now it's at 10. Now it's at whatever. Basically, this is fairly important to note. You can only sell what people are willing to buy. Now, you might see, okay, this number, right? Great. You might see that. You might say, oh, the overall value of the stock is good or bad or whatever it may be. Here's the thing. What you need to know as an investor is you can only buy at that amount, at the asking price, and you can only sell at the bidding price. That's that. So someone's willing to sell at, say, this $120.30 per share, and someone's only willing to buy at $120.25 per share. Right. This is where volatility comes in play. So right here, the thing's going up and down and doing whatever it might be. Where right here, if we even go down to the day time frame, the last time anything was done with it was today. The last time that was done, nothing in the past week. So I mean, as you can see here, there's hardly any movement on this. Hardly any movement at all. What this basically means is if you are willing, now this is how people make money on the penny stocks. Just a little added tip. So this person is willing to buy $15 worth of shares, right? So obviously this will be a horrible stock to do it in at the current volatility rate. But let's say it was much more volatile. Basically, you need to match that as much as possible. It's just best to note that stay away from penny stocks. But anyways, as far as that goes, hopefully that's helped you out. I'm going to explain a little bit more in a much later videos and things like boiler bands and understanding how to read a chart and stuff like that. So if you don't know how to read a chart right now, then that's cool. I'll get into channels, boiler bands, and stuff like that, and that way it can help you out. Because the fact is a lot of people, they take a look at this stuff and they throw their hands in the air after about 5 seconds looking at it and say, I don't understand it. Or they put out some excuse saying, I graduated school, so I don't have to deal with this learning anymore. Well, the fact is these are fairly simple things, and they can actually make you a little bit of money. Not tons of money, but a little bit of money at a time, depending on how much you have to invest in the first place. But with that in mind, let me know if you have any questions on this, if it helps you out and whatnot. And again, keep looking out for those dividends. And I think I got a video coming out on that in the next couple of days. So take a look out for those dividends like this, and you can make money off that also. But anyways, I'll see you next video. Hope you have a great day.